Hey you! Yes you! You wanna play games like Escape from Tarkov, 𝐒𝐫𝐞𝐞, Unturned, and Stalker, but don't have the money or the PC good enough to play them? Well, boy howdy do I have a game for you. State of Anarchy is a game on Roblox developed by 𝐒𝐬𝐳 LLC. I'm sorry if I am mispronouncing that. Created back in 2018, and like the games I just listed, is a looter shooter. Now, a looter shooter is basically an FPS game where you spawn in, loot, shoot other players, then loot their dead bodies, and looter shooters have a couple of main mechanics, including the looting, obviously, the gunplay, aka shooting, and the replay value. Now, for State of Anarchy, looting-wise, you spawn in with food, water, some medical supplies, a crappy phone for night vision, obviously what else would you use a phone for, and also because of the holidays, as we're scripting this video and everything, you spawn in with a stocking that has a 99% chance of giving you either charcoal pills or a 1%, I emphasize the 1% of getting a night vision system. You can probably tell which is better, and last but certainly not least, you get a gun. And that gun, you have to reload. Immediately when you spawn in, you have to reload that gun. I cannot emphasize this enough, you have to reload it. The first time I played this game, and I whipped out a gun, and I saw an opponent, and I clicked, I just hear the because I didn't reload the gun and I died immediately, obviously. So please, for the love of God, or else you will be dead, press that R key when you select your gun. There are a couple of different variants you spawn in with, either a shotgun, a pistol, a semi-auto rifle, or SMG or bolt action rifle. Any one of them is pretty bad and pretty crappy when you spawn in with them with not much space for customization, and the bullet types are kind of weird and harder to find than the other weapons you will find while playing the game and when looting other buildings, obviously, because this is a looter shooter. And I wouldn't say that there's any like best weapon to spawn in with, because they all primarily focus on close quarters combat, and the semi-automatic rifles and the bolt action rifles you do get are again pretty crappy because of the ammo types they use, the armor penetration is bad, and because most of the weapons you spawn in with are either World War I or World War II era weapons, or modern weapons that are just like very low caliber and very low armor penetration. Now, like Escape from Tarkov, as I mentioned, you have different ammo types, mag types, attachments, plate and armor systems. Besides all of that, you have to track your hunger, your thirst, your stamina, your hydration levels, how much of your battery is used up, how much isn't, also tracking how much ammo you have in each mag, making sure you have that ammo type for that mag, and also making sure that some magazines can fit certain rifles, because not every single rifle that uses a certain type of ammo type uses the same mag, because it's sometimes different, but they use the same ammo type. How does that work? Basically, there is a lot of tracking. And where do you find all of this equipment and where do you loot it from? Well, you have 5.11 gun shops, you have motels, hotels, CVS stores, barrels, boxes, crates, military bases, houses, even literal snowmen. Now, that is a seasonal item, but you can loot snowmen. I am not joking, you can loot snowmen. But that all depends on what type of map you play, which brings me to the maps. Now, in terms of map choices, you have a couple of different choices, and those different choices are 6 maps, including Seaboard, Metro, Canada, Black Market, which is used for player trading, which is something I also didn't really mention, but players in this game from what you loot and what you keep, because when you do loot something in one map in one life, you can exit out the game and all of your loot saves, and anything that you want to trade for maybe something better or maybe something you really need, you can go to the Black Market map, obviously, and go trade with other players, because that's another feature they have. And the other maps include Old Seaboard and Redwood. Now, there is a 7th map called the Golden State Hotel, as of recording this and scripting this video, but it's only used for item testing right now. So will that further be developed into a better map, maybe a higher quality one? I'm not really sure, or should I say a full map? I'm not really sure, but for now you have 6 main maps and that 7 map used for item testing. Now, starting off with Seaboard, I haven't played this map at all. I played this game for maybe like 2 weeks straight. I haven't really explored every map, but I have explored most of them, but Seaboard never, no. Now, Metro. Metro is a map I have a deep hatred for. It is a 12-player capacity map where every corner you turn, every room you enter has piles and piles of great loot, but the player capacity and the small map type is perfect for the sweats. And as soon as you show a sliver, a single pixel of your hitbox, dead, gone, like that. Nothing more they don't need. You make the slightest sound, they immediately echo wave locate you and go towards you and kill you more efficiently than the CIA and FBI assassinated Bin Laden. I am not joking. These guys are on a different wavelength. And I hate this map because of that specific reason, because it's so filled to the brim with sweats. It's absolutely a sweat fest, a sausage party, nothing more. Moving on, we have Canada, which is my personal favorite map and the biggest map, having a 30-player capacity. Now, as opposed to Metro, where everything's like, oh god, I have to get the weapons, kill everybody, make sure I'm safe, make sure I have plates, make sure I have body armor, make sure I have helmets. In Canada, it's much more slow-paced, and the combat is still the same combat because you can get killed in 2 to 3 bullets even when fully armored, because that's what I like about this game. It's the realism aspect of it, because even with a plate, body armor, the best helmet, if shot correctly, you will die in 2 to 3 hits, and most fights, like in real life, end just like that, because that's what guns are. They are quick killers. They kill in 2 to 3 bullets and they have no mercy, just like the people wielding them. Now, Canada has a lot of underground tunnels. The overall area, everywhere, it's snowy. There's kind of like 3 main buildings. One is like kind of like a gas station. The other is like an abandoned supply store, should I say. And then there's the underground tunnel system that I mentioned. There's a lot of like light towers, radio towers, a military base, just a very big and diverse map that looks absolutely stunning in my opinion, and at night gets even prettier with the northern lights. Now, the next map, which is Black Market, I haven't really played much because, well, again, I haven't really like traded or anything. I'm not really interested in that, nor do I think I ever will be. Now, the other map is Old Seaboard again. Haven't played the map, can't tell you much about it, but the next map, Redwood, I hate that map with a passion, is because it has a 20-player capacity. And what does that mean? It mixes St. Petersburg Metro pace with Canada's pace, and you get kind of like this weird middle ground where it's like the middle child and it doesn't know what it's doing, because the younger child always gets what it wants and the older child kind of has its own thing and it's so successful and it tries so hard to be both, but it just ends up sucking. It's a murky, rainy, grayish hellhole where you don't have any cover. The buildings that are there absolutely suck in terms of loot. You barely get any like loot crates from the air, and the loot you do find is absolutely crappy. I have yet to find a helmet in Redwood, yet to have found one, nor do I think I ever will, because of how bad the loot pool is here and how bad the loot is generally here. And the players that play this map just hide in the trees like they're the Vietnamese army in Vietnam back when the Americans were back there. It's like every tree is just like
Ném hỏa châu ra! Ném hỏa châu! Thằng loạn trái nổ! Thằng nổ! Tùm ra trái nữa! Tùm lửa! Đạp in! Ném lựu đạn thuốc độc liền! Ném lựu đạn thuốc độc! Thằng thuốc độc! Ném thuốc độc! Thằng thuốc độc!
It's absolutely infuriating for players like me, and it's just a pissy map I don't like looking at. Now there also is kind of like an 8th map, which is Odessa, Ukraine, but it's not on the maps list. And I have played it, and it's kind of like Redwood, but just a bit better. So take what you think about Redwood right now, and just polish the turd a bit. Just polish it. That's Odessa, Ukraine, basically. So Redwood, Odessa, 20 player capacity, mid-paced gunplay and gameplay, just an absolute like too fast slugfest. Metro is filled with sweats, and Canada is the absolute like peak perfect map in my opinion. Even though a video I saw by another creator, which I will throw up on screen right now, recommends Redwood as like a beginner's map, I would say start off with Canada, then go immediately to Metro to see how good you have it in Canada, and then go to Redwood and see how worse it is there, and just default back to Canada every single time, because the interactions you have in Canada you will not find anywhere else except that map, obviously. One thing I will really like quickly mention is the HUD and the UI in general, because well, you're looking at the gameplay right now, but you don't have like how much ammo is in your current mag. You can't see that, so you're basically relying on counting bullets. If you do that, or just like me, you spray and pray in certain situations with certain weapons like SMGs. And for some weapons like semi-automatic rifles, you can track how much bullets you're shooting. And for bolt actions, it's simple enough. I mean, I hope you're not that stupid to not know how to track how many shots you have in a bolt action or a semi-automatic rifle. Now, the inventory in this game is set up in a way that's easy to understand for everyone. On the far left, you have your stamina, you have your battery percentage, you have your thirst, you have your hunger, you have what armor you have, what weapons you have equipped, and stuff like that. The night vision system and such. On the middle part, which is the main part, the actual inventory, you have everything you should have in your inventory, including medical supplies like tourniquets, gauzes, fac packs, food, water, your weapons, your weapon attachments, and we'll get to the weapon attachments really quick, which is something I really love about this game. The weapon attachments, different armor systems you have, different plates you have, different helmets, visors, shoulder armor, and stuff like that, because not only do you have like main like body armor and helmets, you also have shoulder armor, leg armor, glasses you wear, visors, and stuff like that, because this game is detailed to the bone. And on the far right, you just have your controls to donate. I think it's the update list, like what's in the new update and stuff like that. Basically just useless stuff to just fill up a slot, I would say personally. Now, a second ago, I mentioned the weapon modification system. Now, the inventory you access by clicking tab. The weapon modification system you access by clicking T on the keyboard. And you look at your gun, and you have so many different attachment options depending on what weapon you're using and what variant is it and what weapon systems you want to use. Now, me personally, I do use the 5.56x45 NATO round weapons the most, because I found that their ammo type is most easy to find, and mags too, and the weapons are really customizable. Now, you have different muzzle brakes, suppressors, scopes, stocks. You have a right rail, the left rail, different mag types, because not only do you have like standard like 30 round mags, you had 20 round mags, you had extended mags which can reach all up to like 100 bullets, 60 bullets, 50 bullets, and that all of those weapon modifications, weapon attachments make an impact. They all really do, like how heavy your weapon is, which affects the bullet drop off, how much bullet stability you have when shooting, how far the recoil goes back, and basically all of that makes an impact. How accurate you are depends on your attachments, depends on how you shoot. Either you hold your breath or you don't. All depends on your choices, which in terms of holding your breath steadily, your weapon attachments, and how heavy your weapon is. And all of that comfortably and smoothly makes me go to the replay value of this game. This game is addicting to the point where you will be coming back each and every single day to clock in at least like 30 minutes or an hour, or in my case 2 to 3 hours. Basically almost every day I get the chance to, because either I'm at school, I have something at home, or I don't know, I just have a lot of responsibilities. And with the winter break coming, I hope I'll have more time to play this amazing game. And the time I have played it unhealthily for multiple hours whenever I get the chance. From all the buildings and the PvP being very fast paced, not in terms of like running and gunning, but even with full armor plates, and a helmet, and basically every single ammo type you might have, I will die in 2 to 3 hits. It's almost a guarantee. 1 hit if you're getting hit with like a 50 BMG from the right distance. And the weapon customization is really realistic and absolutely amazing considering it's Roblox. And the many different armor types, weapon types, helmet types, all from different eras of warfare, and also different variants I already mentioned, and even camos, which I have yet to found one, except when I got the Pack-a-Punch. Now yes, you have heard me correctly. There is a Pack-a-Punch machine you can get from either, at the moment of recording and scripting, either opening a Christmas present or opening the stocking I mentioned at the very beginning of this video. I only got it once, and it does what the real Call of Duty, like zombies, Pack-a-Punch machine does. So yes, you do get the like sound effects, you do get the camo you get when you Pack-a-Punch a certain weapon, and it is pretty rad to see it in a Roblox fan game of Escape from Tarkov and getting the elements of Call of Duty Zombies mixed into it with the Pack-a-Punch system. And also the perks. Now I have found like a couple, like Quick Revive, Second Chance I think it's called, PhD Flopper, and Widow's Wine. Basically all the same effects in Call of Duty Zombies, but just like translated into State of Anarchy, and kind of like given effects that will make an actual impact in State of Anarchy, not like the same copy-paste or anything. Easily, I would recommend this game over and over again because of how much there is to do. And even when you think you are invincible, even when you're at that point of having the best armor, the best weapons, the best ammo types, and fully customized everything, a newborn, a new spawn, a new gen can come and shoot you in the head with a Colt 1911 and absolutely reset you to 0.0 and reset your progress to 0. And that's what makes it so stressful, what makes it so frustrating, and what keeps you coming back each and every day. It's the chance of either going all in and doubling all of your rewards. It's either going for the greed or dying trying. All in all, to make things short, if you don't have the money or just have a crappy bad PC, even if you do have the money and the PC, I think you should still give this game a shot, and you can play it either alone or play it with friends. It's free, it costs you nothing to try, and I would recommend it over so many games. and it has like a consistent 200 to 300 players playing consistently every single day, no matter the time of day. It's always 200 to 300. The lowest I saw it dip was like to maybe 175 players, but that's still quite a lot, and the servers are well kept. You have servers in Germany, the Netherlands, Singapore, the USA, Russia, and you know, basically every continent you can imagine, there is a server there, and you will be able to have a good ping and experience this game in full. And I think, all in all, State of Anarchy is the best free-to-play looter shooter you will probably ever try, and that will ever be made in the history of this game genre, and especially on Roblox. And I could not recommend it enough. Thank you all for listening, and I hope you have a great rest of your days. Goodbye.